What happens when a director known for creating some of the most stylish and violent films in Tamil cinema decides to put another director in the lead role? Well, that is exactly what Arunmatheswaran has attempted with DC, and the director he has chosen to play the lead, Loki. Yes, the man behind Kaiti, Vikram and the LCU is now stepping in front of the camera. And honestly, after watching DC, I have to say, this is one of those films where the ambition is far more interesting than the execution. So, is DC worth watching in theaters? Let's talk about it. Story. DC follows Didas, played by Lokesh Kanagaraj, and Chandra, played by Wamiqagabbi, along with their group of criminals as they find themselves on the run from the police. But this isn't simply a standard gangster versus police movie. There is trauma, romance, revenge, violence, and a lot of madness packed into this journey. And I actually liked that the film doesn't immediately explain everything. Instead, it slowly reveals why these characters are running, what happened to them, and why the police are so determined to catch them. The central relationship between Devdas and Chandra is easily the most interesting part of the story. They are basically two damaged people who recognize something familiar in each other, and that creates this very entertaining Bonnie and Clyde style dynamic. The problem? I just wish the movie spent more time developing it, the biggest problem. And this brings me to my biggest criticism of DC, the writing. There are some genuinely interesting characters here, but the movie often tells us about them instead of actually allowing us to experience their stories. For example, Devdas has a complicated relationship with his father that could have been emotionally powerful. But instead of really exploring that relationship, the film moves fairly quickly back into the chase and action. The same problem exists with Devdas's group. We are told how these people came together, but we don't spend enough time understanding who they are. And because of that, some emotional moments don't hit as hard as they could have. I genuinely believe that if DC had spent another 20 or 30 minutes developing its characters instead of constantly moving from one action sequence to another, this could have been something truly exceptional. Loki. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, Loki. Does he work as a leading man? Surprisingly, yes. He's not trying to become the next great actor overnight, and thankfully the performance doesn't feel overly theatrical. His Devdas is quiet, emotionally distant, unpredictable, and calculating. There is something interesting about watching a filmmaker who is normally behind the camera suddenly become the person carrying the movie. And considering how much criticism Lokesh has received recently regarding his filmmaking choices, I actually appreciate the fact that he took such a massive risk. He could have stayed comfortably in his director's chair. Instead, he decided to put himself on screen and basically give everyone another reason to judge him. And honestly, I respect that. Wamiqa. But if I'm being completely honest, Wamiqagabbi steals a lot of the film. Chandra is probably the most compelling character here. She's aggressive, vulnerable, unpredictable, and clearly carrying a lot of trauma. Her chemistry with Loki works because neither character feels completely stable. They are both survivors, and when they are together, the film becomes much more interesting. There is also a quiet sadness underneath their relationship that I really liked. It's not just two criminals running around causing chaos. You can actually understand why these two people become connected. Cinematography and music. Now, if there is one department where DC absolutely delivers, it's the technical side. The cinematography is fantastic. The movie takes beautiful landscapes and turns them into something threatening. Normally these locations would make you feel peaceful. Here they make you feel like something horrible is about to happen. And then we have Anirudh Ravichandra's music. This is easily one of my favorite aspects of the movie. The combination of classical elements with aggressive beats gives the action sequences a completely different identity. There are moments where the music almost becomes another character in the movie, and the police station sequence in particular is elevated massively by the score. This is Anirudh sounding much more experimental than what we usually hear from him in big commercial movies.